Hello and welcome to NASCAR Race Weekend. I'm your host Richmond, and let's get started with your 5 to 10 minute preview into this weekend's race at Michigan Motor Speedway. Now looking at our Cup Series race this weekend, the odds. Denny Hamlin leads the odds as he did last week at plus 400. Following him is Tyler Reddick at plus 500. Christopher Bell plus 650. Ty Gibbs plus 800. And Kyle Larson plus 850, a much tighter spread from last weekend's race at Nashville, headed into Michigan. Looking at our previous winners at Michigan, last year we saw the one and only Denny Hamlin take home the win after, I believe, Carson Hocevar had something happen to his car. The year before that, 2024, we saw Tyler Reddick win at Michigan, and the year before that was the last time we've seen a Ford win and their home track. Chris Buescher took home the win in 2023. And we will cut away now to our full screen as we look at the NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Tyler Reddick still at the top, to nobody's surprise. Following him, now a little bit closer behind, within 100 points for the first time since the second week of the season, Denny Hamlin at 97 points behind. Other than that, we had a little bit of moving here in our top 12. We had Shane Van Gisbergen join that top 12 in the ranks there with a top 5 finish. Much needed one on an oval for him at Nashville. Other than that, we had Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs swap positions. Still pretty tight points between them and Kyle Larson, about 40 points behind, or exactly 40 points behind Gibbs. And then a real tight running order between Larson, Bell 10 points behind, 16 points behind Buescher, and then 10 points behind Buescher is Hocevar. 5 points behind him is Suarez. As I talked about last week, the driver that enters the chase, I think it's 7th, starts 50 points, or I think it's like 50, 60 points behind whoever enters in with the 1 seed. So realistically, what people are discussing, you need to be about 7th, 5th in points. So some drivers, it's starting to look a little bit more like a stretch. But there are still plenty of races to go, and I think it's 10 races to go, so it's starting to dwindle down. We are past the halfway point in the regular season. So if you're going to make some moves, you've got to start making them now if you're one of these drivers that is starting to try to look at that top 5 range. And now if we look at the other side of the points, we see that Austin Cindric and Ryan Preece just barely flipped spots, 2 points between them on that cut line. We saw Brad Kay fall short at Nashville. He falls out of that top 12 onto this screen now. Bubba Wallace also lost 2 positions. Joey Logano stayed exactly where he was. He's the only person on this screen to stay where he was. And then we saw AJ Allmendinger blow a brake rotor at Nashville, dropping him from 19th all the way down to 22nd, not even on the screen, but giving Zane Smith, after a very much needed 10th or 9th place run at Nashville, he takes home now in the top 20, trying to maybe get his way into the chase. Now onto the trucks. This weekend for the trucks, we have Cletus McFarland in the 4, making his second start in a row in the Touring Series for NASCAR. Following him, we will have Parker Kligerman in the 25 in the little lineup there. He will be driving that Ram coming down from the booth for CW, as the O'Reilly Series is not raced this week. Number 42, we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Following him, as normal, Ross Chastain in the number 45, running another Truck Series race. Christopher Bell in the 62, and closing out the trucks, Carson Hocevar at his home track in Michigan, driving the number 77 truck. And the most disappointing thing for him is that we will sadly not be seeing that Chili scheme for the rest of the season. Apparently that contract is up. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because that Intimidante scheme is amazing. So hopefully they can get back to running it, but as of now, it is not looking so promising. As I mentioned before, this week on the show, we have a guest for the pick segment. Everybody welcome the guy not last in fantasy points anymore, Brock Bell. Woo!
Yeah. Crowd goes wild. Hey, I'll see you after the show, right?
This week on the show, instead of me giving my 6 drivers on my fantasy team, we're just going to shorten it down to let us both get some say here. We're going to do 1 pick to win and our underdog pick. So we'll shorten it down. I will kick us off real quick. My pick to win this week, just outside of the odds, Chase Briscoe in the number 19 for JJR. I think he had, we saw he had a lot of speed last week. He was running great up there in the battle, just didn't quite fall his way. I think that speed will continue at Michigan. And my underdog pick, I think we're going to see Brad Keselowski make some waves here at Michigan. I said make waves again. But we're going to see him. It's Ford's home. They call it their home. They have won 9 of the last 11 races here at Michigan. But the last 2, as we saw earlier, taken by Toyotas. I'm going to send it on to Brock.
So, I'm a big NASCAR guy. Loved it. Started watching it back in February. This guy took me to race for my birthday. And I think ever since then I've been pulling for Bell. So he's my number 1 pick here. Partly, the name lineage thing. Also because he's kind of cool guy. I like the color yellow. It's pretty cool. My underdog pick, though. Now, this is where I really get spicy with my stuff here. I'm going with SVG. Now, this is the first race. The first race I showed my parents was the road race he won a couple weeks ago. Where was that at again?
Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen. Yeah. And he was really locked in there. And I just really trust his driving abilities. I think he's got a good handle on the car. He's got a good foot on the gas. Don't know what else you need. Come on, you just go and you turn. So those are my picks for NASCAR race weekend.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comment down below who you think is going to win this weekend and your own underdog pick. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Stay rowdy.
Stay rowdy.